You gotta put your glasses on.
Yeah.
Your other glasses on.
All right, boys.
6 o'clock.
All right,
All right, it's 6 o'clock. It is time to call the meeting. The mayor will not be here tonight. And we do want to pray for him because he is right now dealing with some issues that we hope get resolved. Mike's going to do prayer. Miss Willie's going to do the pledge. If we could stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Father which art in heaven, as we come to you tonight, I pray that you will help us, dear Heavenly Father, that our minds will be focused on our city and maybe not our own agenda,
yes.
and that we'll do the things that the citizens need.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray for this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
And we want to mention Corey too.
We do have a forum tonight, and we are known that Corey is on vacation, and we're hoping she have a wonderful time also. So at this time, we ask for approval of the minutes from prior meetings, study session June the 15th, regular meeting June the 20th.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
I second.
Motion's been made and second. All in favor? Motion passes. Awards and presentations and appointments, mayor appointment to Mount Pleasant Zoning of Appeals.
The Board of Zoning Appeals, Billy Ring is on it, and he has
Right.
agreed to serve another 3-year term, so that would be a staff recommendation.
Does anybody oppose Billy Wang remaining on the Board of Appeals? No. Okay. And Mount Pleasant Historic Zoning.
We need a
Commission?
motion and a second.
Oh,
I
sorry.
make a motion that Bill Ring be added to the Board of Zoning and Appeals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 4-all. Now, the Historical Board of Commission,
And Miss Granberry, her last name is Walker, correct?
Freddie Walker.
Freddie Walker. That's the name that has been brought to the mayor's attention that he was going to bring forward tonight.
I make a motion that we accept Ms. Freddie Walker to the Mount Pleasant Historical Zoning Commission.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Unfinished business from prior meeting. The first one, this is a public hearing, and it is the second reading. Ordinance 2023-113. And it is the amendment to Title 18 Water and Sewage of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code by adding new Charter 4 to enact to access fee on new water customers.
Vice Mayor and Commissioners, that you've had this at first reading. The only change that's been made to this ordinance since first reading is when these access fees have to be paid. And I think we told you it's when you obtain a building permit. So
Yes.
that's the language that is in there that Corey changed. It'll be the same for the next ordinance as well.
Is there any discussion this time?
I make a motion that we accept orders 2023-1113.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Ordinance 2023-114. This is also a public hearing, second public hearing. In order to amend Title 18 to Water and Sewage of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code by adding a new Chapter 5 to intake and access fee on new sewage customers. And we have discussed this at the last time.
And like I stated with the last one, the only change is that the payment is due at time of permit.
I make a motion that we accept ordinance 2023-1114.
Ms. Willie made a motion. Could I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Pam second. All in favor? Motion passes. Ordinance 2023-115, public hearing, final reading, and ordinance to terminate the electronic citation regulation and fees for the city of Mount Pleasant Police Department and municipal code. We've already discussed this, and this is something that has to be done. Ms. Kate, you want to go from there?
Yes, after 5 years, it automatically terminates, but since it was set up by ordinance, we have to have an ordinance to take it out, even though we've stopped charging it already.
Make a motion, we accept ordinance 2023-1115.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Pam, second by Ms. Willie. All in favor?
And
Motion passes 4-0. Mayor's not here for a monthly report from the mayor, but like I say, we are praying for his speedy recovery where he can get back. Monthly finance and budget report. Stephanie?
I emailed out the reports on Friday. This month, you don't have all the regular reports that you all usually get because we're in the middle of closing out the books. And I put it in my email that I was going to go ahead and send out preliminary financials, hopefully in August. The state gives finance offices 60 days to close the books after June 30th. So we're in the process of getting all of our receivables, our accruals, and everything set up right now, get our trial balances and balance sheet cleaned up. So August 30th is our deadline to close. My goal is to have it closed somewhere in the middle of August. So hopefully September meeting, we will definitely have preliminary revenue and expenditure reports for June 30th, along with the profit and loss statements for our enterprise funds. And once audit comes through in September, give us our audit, probably somewhere in December or January, we would have the final financials for June 30th from them. Of course, that's what gets filed with the comptroller's office once we go through our audit. Auditors should be here sometime in September. We've actually been talking to them today, so he's actually supposed to call me tomorrow to go over all of that. Something I did change, and I've been working on reports, so every month I'm making little changes. I changed the cash report from the way it used to look to be that you get every fund in detail with available cash at the bottom, taking out any restrictions that are already committed for projects, taking out any expenditures that are for purchase orders. The other thing I did is I added a graph to it. So you're used to seeing a graph already of how much cash we have in our main funds, our water, sewer, our gas, our general fund. But what I have done now is instead of just giving you what we have in this month, I've added it by month. So right now you received June's cash, but the May cash is there so as well. So you can actually see the pattern of how your cash goes, what our cash flow looks like throughout the year. So the graph is, like I said, it was already there. It just has a little bit more information. As we go through, I might be able to only put like 6 months on it at a time because it'll make it very, very small because of the amount of data we have. But as we go through, I'm changing some of the reports. Another report that I'm going to add is probably going to be what we bill in our utilities every month. You see a profit and loss statement, you see what we're doing, but just seeing how much are we billing for our services every month would probably help, especially when we go through rate increases like we did between April and May, which show you, this month we billed 38,000. Well, now that we went up on our rates, we billed 40-some thousand this month. So that way you see, and it's a report that we all already have in our monthly billing reports. It's just not something that you all have seen. So I'm trying to get feedback maybe a little bit. If you all see something, you're like, give us so much information and some of it may not be as useful. So again, some of this stuff, if it goes on the agendas, it goes on our website, it goes with our packets. It's also transparent to the public what we are doing in-house here. So that's one more report that I'm probably going to start adding along with what we already do. And if you all need something that needs to be taken off that's not useful to you, just let me know and we'll go through. But as I'm seeing things that I feel like we need internally for a lot of our meetings, I'm adding that type of stuff to my monthly reports because then I've already done them every month. And if anybody in the city needs them, they're already available.
And she's really working on making them as simple as possible.
Yeah,
so it's
doing a
not,
great
not
job.
difficult to read them.
Yeah, because right now we've got most of our reports where they're just hand reports from local government, which is great because we already have those available and it doesn't take that long to run them. But we're trying to just show you yearly or monthly patterns because that's usually what helps with budgeting. That's usually what's going to help with spending. And that's usually what we are looking at internally, like when can we spend more money when we do have more cash flow? When can we start our capital projects. So those are things that we look at internally, and I think some of those reports will help us internally and externally to be, you know, more accountable to the citizens of Mount Pleasant.
We appreciate it because it's so much easier to read. And you're going to understand what you're looking, and you can understand it and
Yes.
go over. So we, believe me, we appreciate it.
Good.
Thank you for all you
Thank
do.
you.
Yeah, we thank you for your hard work
Thank you,
and
thank
what you
you.
have been doing. We don't have to make a motion to pass the budget.
We do.
Okay.
We do for the
So
financial
could I get a
report.
motion to pass?
I
the
make a
budget?
motion to pass the budget.
Mr. Woody make the motion to pass the budget for this month.
The finance report.
Finance report, I'm sorry. Financial statement report. Did I get a second, please?
You can comment on it.
Did you say Pam?
Mhm.
Okay, it's been second. All in favor?
Uh,
Okay, passes 4-0. Monthly report from city manager.
I just wanted to remind everybody that Thursday is Third Thursdays. Also letting you know that we are in the process of advertising to rebid for downtown. So we're on our way with that. I would anticipate bids being September, realistically. And then wanted to make sure that you know that we did get the check in for this spec building, $448,043, and we're not sure what to do with it. But so what we did do is Schiffer was quickly able to find that the money was borrowed from gas back in 2014, I think it was. We put the $150,000 that was taken from gas right back into gas, but the balance is what we're not sure of. And she's working with the comptroller and the auditor to figure that out. And anything else you want to say on that?
It currently is the 298,000 is what was the difference. We did put it in the general fund since that was the will of the commission originally. I know you all had originally wanted it to all go into the general fund. But because we did find out that we borrowed the 150 from gas, we felt like we needed to give that at least back to gas. There's opinions out there from MTAS saying all of it needs to go back to gas, but I haven't received final word from our auditor. So he knows that I'll put 150 in gas since that's what gas contributed towards it. And the remainder is sitting in general fund at the moment. So if they decide that we're just looking for guidance because it's one of those situations that not everybody's ever dealt with.
I can see why they said it, but I hope not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, it looks like it needs to go back there, but we only put 150 back, 298 is in the general fund.
I think
So when did we
almost like
borrow
it's the
the-
gas company's interest that they
Correct,
made.
correct.
when did we borrow the money from?
Yeah, in
2014.
2014, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Is it
But
all?
hopefully,
And we just now knowing that we owe them?
No, it was,
No, when we got the big check, we wanted to see where we initially took the money from to start that 150. And we found that we got it from gas, so we felt like 150 needed to go back into gas. All the rest is what we've earned in the spec building.
So why do we think we should put it all back in gas?
We don't, but we're
No, I
waiting.
said him,
so I haven't heard MTAS thing.
MTAS. yeah.
MTAS, just because gas made the contribution, any interest earned on any money that's borrowed from a certain fund, you would think needs to go back there. But this is also a situation that hasn't happened in a lot of cities before. So they're not 100% sure. And they just told me to email our auditors. I emailed our auditors when we received the funds, because I think we received the funds like June 30th at like 3
Yeah.
o'clock.
Okay.
On a
And
Friday
I was like, I
afternoon.
have to deposit these funds because it's June 30th. They need to go in the bank. I can't hold that check. So we deposited the best way we thought we could. He said he's researching. And again, I've got a call. I'm supposed to have a call from him tomorrow.
Okay.
And we know that wasn't the intention. The intention
No.
wasn't to make a bunch of money to put back into gas.
Correct.
We're just kind of waiting to see.
And
We
I
don't- we wanna
let
make
them
sure.
know. I let them know that our commission wanted to use these funds in the general fund.
Yes.
So they were like, that's when MTAS was like, you definitely need to return 150 back. If you need to, I would put the difference. And so 298,000, I think, is what I put back in the general fund for right now.
Okay.
So the cash on general fund looks really good this month, because that money's in there as well. So
We just wanted you guys to be aware of that.
yes,
That's-
we just, yeah, because I think we emailed out saying we had the money and we were depositing in the general fund. It was, I think 30 minutes after that, we were like, well, we can't do that. So
Okay.
we
thank
have
you.
the money, it's deposited, it's there, it's in our funds. You see it on your cash report as part of what,
still city money, but not the way that we would like.
Right.
exactly, exactly.
And since you explained it, I understand. I just don't understand why you were saying they were saying it all needs to go back in there
It just,
first.
it's like
But
putting, yeah,
it was profit that was made on
Yeah.
what they had loaned out.
Exactly.
It would be like me, I guess, letting the city or whatever borrow the money for the spec building.
And then we
when
just
it's
give
all
you what
done,
we borrowed from you back, but not the
What
interest.
about my interest?
Yeah.
That wasn't part of the deal.
You
But
just
again-
deposit in my account and it'll stay.
Well, we have a bicentennial coming up.
No, I'm trying to get in my account, man.
It's a situation that doesn't have a lot of what did somebody else do, because it's not very common. So there may be a TCA code out there that allows for commission to make that decision, since it's not. But I don't know.
But gas company is not gonna argue, so maybe that'll go
Right.
to our favor.
No, because that the gas is our fund as well.
That's right. So,
But it's an enterprise fund, so it gets a little bit tricky. So if it was a governmental fund, I think it would
That's
be
your,
not.
that's your job, girl.
Yeah. Enterprise fund, that's not what I'm messing with.
Okay, thank you for explaining.
thank you.
Water design report, Bart, sewage update.
Let me get that in front of me. I think I stated at the study session that basically trunk line is done except for paperwork at this point. At Rainy Street, the concrete precast concrete structure's been ordered for the fabrication, and the review of the contract is about finished for Rainy Street. And the wastewater plant, they're finishing up drywall, plumbing, mechanical, electrical inside the building, and site piping continues to be installed, is in progress. And you all know if you wait 30 days and go back out there, there's a lot of work that's being done out there. And we're spending a lot of money on the sewer plant.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers and gas report.
There's no report right now. I just want to kind of give you a heads up that we're looking at the possibility of replacing the gas meter out at Cherry Glen to increase the size, to be able to have more gas, especially now with Landmark using so much gas. And it doesn't sound like much when I say we want to replace the meter, but that's anywhere from $3 to $5 million. So we're looking at possible grants out there to do that as well. So if you hear about it, at least I've brought it to your attention that we may be coming back to you for something like that.
So we have to pay for that.
Or you get an industry that comes in that needs it, and that would help too, but we're looking for different grants.
All right. Number one, new business. Ordinance 2023-1116, first reading. An ordinance amending Title 14, zoning and land use control, Chapter 2, zoning ordinance of the Mount Pleasant Municipal Code. The same being the zoning orders of the city of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, including the municipal zoning map, incorporate in by zoning a property from low density resident R1 to light industrial IL. The zoning board did approve it.
And if you look at number 2, there will be no adverse effect upon adjoining property owners. All the property owners, from what I understood, is okay with it. So I see no problem there.
Yes,
talked to,
thank you. That's what we're supposed to be
yeah.
using, is these finding of facts, and that's a good example.
Yes.
There were several people from the public, but once they realized it wasn't rezoning their own property,
Right.
they were fine with it at that point.
Yes.
So this obviously has to go through 2 readings as an ordinance, just like whether they approved it or denied it, but it'll be on the agenda next month for final reading.
And the main thing is that we're approving rezoning, not what's going there,
Right.
not what they're gonna do with the property, just rezoning. And also the understanding that they can always sell it and it would always be rezoned and something else could come in there. But
In the Planning Commission, their findings of fact were that, as Commissioner Davis said, that no adverse effect upon adjoining property owners, and they also said that the proposed amendment would benefit the general public.
And they only work Monday through Thursday.
That's what they're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, what they're saying.
Well, I mean, like she just said, it could,
Right, that's what I'm
could
saying.
sell.
that cannot be
That's what I'm
considered in
saying.
this because we don't have any guarantee that they can do anything they want that's within the light industrial once we rezone it to that.
And that's anywhere. So,
Right. So, but I mean, that's what we need to make clear, that we can't say that they're just gonna do what they said they were gonna do. And there's no one to sign up. This is the public hearing. Does anyone want to speak on it? Okay, Ms. Willie, invisible people did not want to speak. Could I get a motion on it?
I make a motion to accept ordinance 2023-1116 to be rezoned. Mike, I guess you already said it, there will be no adverse effect upon adjoining properties owners unless such effect can be justified by the overwhelming public good or welfare.
Make a second.
Okay.
The motion has been made and second. We'll take a vote on it.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2023-27, a resolution to the City of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, authorizing a pay in lieu of Texas for the Mount Pleasant power system for FY 2023 through 24.
Mayor and Commissioner, or Vice Mayor and Commissioners, this is the first of 3 in lieu of tax that we do every July. So this is the power systems.
Motion to approve resolution 2023-27.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2023-28, a resolution by the City of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, authorizing a payment in live Texas for the Mount Pleasant Gas Department for FY 2023-24.
Vice Mayor and Commissioners, the same as last. This is for the gas system.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2023-28.
Second.
Motion has been made and second, all in favor? Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2023-29, a resolution approving agreements for payments in live Texas for the Mount Pleasant Municipal Housing Authority for fiscal year of 2023 to 24.
And this is specifically for the Housing Authority.
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2023-29.
Second.
Motion has been made and passed, all in favor?
Aye.
4-0. Resolution 2023-30, a resolution of the City of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, authorizing the issue, sales, and payment of streets and park projects 2023 interfund capital outlay notes not to exceed $500,000.
And Vice Mayor and Commissioners, I think we're all aware that this, we've talked about this in the budgeting process, is going back at least a year. So I think Schiffer's got everything in place for us to be able to do this once we get the approval from the commission, and then we'll start working on some of the projects.
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2023-30.
Meant to say also that the payment on this is in the budget.
Yes.
And the payment it's already in the budget.
It's
right?
already
Okay.
in the budget, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion has been made in second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Resolution 2023-31, a resolution of the City of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, naming the Mount Pleasant water plant in, we have a name that we have for the city, but we have to open it up to the public, right, for
Yes.
for nominations.
So this ordinance is basically starting the nomination process. I'll put a notice in the paper, and there's a window of opportunity for people to send their nominations in. And then we'll come back to you in August with anybody that's recommended a name beside what I've already recommended, because that'll be my recommendation. And then we'll go from there.
So can we recommend somebody now, you're saying?
I mean, I think we all,
Yeah.
from my feedback from you, we all want to recommend Daryl Dean. But
Yeah, right.
We do have to
Okay.
put it out in the public to make sure that they're,
Okay,
But there's
the
no-
name is going, okay.
that name will
okay.
stay for sure, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2023-31.
Second.
Motion has been made for 2023-31. All in favor? Resolution 2023-32, a resolution adopting the City of Mount Pleasant water and sewage use guide for determined access fees. Corey explained this in detail when she was here in the study section because she was not going to be here tonight. Kate, you want to make any
Sure.
remarks on it?
Basically, what this is the backup of how the access fees were determined and how they'd be determined into the future if somebody comes in with a development. If you look at the attachment, just about every type of use is there, whether you're opening a barber shop, a movie theater, or a restaurant, or just single-family homes. And this will, if somebody challenges, how are you determining these fees? This resolution outlines how they've been developed, and we've used engineers, looked at other cities, and are comfortable with that document.
And the guide and determination access fee is attached to the resolution if anyone wanted to come in and see it.
Yes.
I'm open for a motion.
I make a motion to accept resolution 2023-32.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Pam. A motion and second has been made. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Resolution 2023-33, a resolution revisiting the employee compensation plan for the city of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. And this is because that we're changing, we no longer have dispatchers, and we're amending the assistance for the 3 employees that we have.
Administrative assistant, we're creating the administrative assistant position for the employees, and I should have thought about it last month, but it didn't cross my mind, so that's in front of you again. And we've interviewed them, and they're all going to be placed, and they'll all be administrative assistants once this is passed.
I make a motion that we accept resolution 2023-33.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 4-0 passes. Are there any comments from these 5 invisible ink people that signed up, the public?
Not let them speak.
Let them speak now, forever hold their peace. Do we have any general comments from the board up here tonight?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
And thank you,
Motion
Ms.
has been
Jackson.
made and second, and we are dismissed.